Hey! What are you doing outside the town halls at night? You're not... You're not Ozma, are you? Oh, you mean me no harm. I'm sure you don't, you madman. What? You're not of this world? You're still the Dark Lord, though, right? Then it doesn't matter. To Salem beer, rubies, and fanfic reviews, and whatever the hell you were yammering about. Goodbye, Dark Lord. Hallo, wie geht's? Willkommen zurück bei Fanfic Review. Today's fic to review is The Eternal Crown. Same as the last, this video was made with the expectation that you've read the original fic. Spoilers ahead. First, onto the positives. First positive is the opening. Now, I think almost every opening Core does is iconic. Murder of Adam and police chase for Ravno and Wolves, breaking out of the facility and meeting the White Fang and Null, the murderous house in Narcourt, the list goes on. There's a lot of contention around Core, but I think the one thing no one can deny is that Core does a banger opener, and this one is no different. This story starts in a small, snowy village. A young man has been plagued with nightmares of endless, brutal torture since he was a child. He violently shakes at the mere mention of the goddess. The entire village, even his family, believe him to be possessed by a demon. The Dark Lord. Ozma. That's basically how the story starts, and it's beautiful. There's a part at the very opening where a lady says, "May the goddess bless you, Jean." And he straight up gets a nosebleed. Like, you feel bad for Jean, but you understand why everyone is terrified of him. Like, imagine in real life, you say bless you to someone, and they get a fucking nosebleed. That's the Antichrist, dude! Anyways, yeah, the entire intro is so atmospheric. On to the next positive, the fight scenes. I'm gonna be frank, Core's fight scenes usually suck ass, and that's no slight against him. Fight scenes are hard to write, but that doesn't change the fact that his aren't good. But here they are. I don't know, maybe it's because he gets to write big flashy magic attacks instead of just sword fights. Some minor positives here. Pyrrha is a delight in this story. The Shnees are a terror here, love them all, except why she's kind of boring. And Rwby as the love interest was fun, if not executed great. Yang was absolutely adorable, trying to be a good big sister for Rwby. Honestly, that might have been like the highlight of the story. Like, you hear that Yang was raised by the Bronwyn tribe, and you get this like idea in your head that she's gonna be dark and serious and edgy, but no, it's still Yang trying her best for Rwby. Now on to the negatives. Alright, first things first. The ending is ass, dude. Even Core admits the ending sucked. He states that it sucked because of how Salem's immortality worked, which was definitely an element, but honestly the entire war against Salem feels so ham-fisted and just forced. Not Jean going to war, but Jean winning the war. I know Core gives the explanation of, oh, Salem has gotten so bored of ruling for this long, she's intentionally throwing the war so she has a challenge, which just feels like the world's largest cop-out. What makes it even worse is that they don't even stick to it throughout the entire thing. At the very end, John and co drop that theory, and Salem herself pleads insanity at the very end. It all just sucks ass. Another thing that I really loved at first, but then sucked later, was the fact that Jean, Cinder, everybody existed before the events of the story. And by that, I mean like hundreds of years ago, these people existed as they do now, kinda like reincarnation. It was such a cool, small detail that's just kind of dropped in there midway through. Ozma mentions it as though it's just like another delusion. I loved how casual it was and how crazy the implications were. And then at the end, Salem just says, "Yeah, no, Cinder, knew her a couple hundred years ago. Giant suck up. Small world, am I right?" Like, wow, way to remove the mystique from it, I guess. I feel like that's pretty representative of the entire story. Lots of cool ideas, but the executions are just ass. I'm gonna be honest here, reading through this was a giant slog for me, hence taking forever for this video. At around chapter 40, we lose all semblance of plot or story, and then start kind of doing random shit because the story decided it so. At like chapters 70 through 80, there was like 4 chapters in a row that were like, well, we took this village, on to the next, ad infinitum. I can't believe this, but the story about Ozma being in Jean's head was way better in the first 20 chapters before Ozma was really doing anything. Also, he sets up the Bronwyn tribe like they're gonna matter, but they just really don't. That's all I have the will to discuss about this story. This was the review. Sorry about the wait. If you liked it, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. And if you have anything to say, please comment down below. Auf Wiedersehen, schönen Tag noch. This was Fanfic Review.